What's up? What's up?
What it do, being crew? It's your boy Savon Thomas back with another episode of Coffee and Comments. I was told that I don't drink enough coffee on cam, so here you guys go. There's some coffee for you. Not Coffee and Comments mug. I drink enough coffee. Y'all are tripping. Y'all be saying random stuff. We are now on season 6 of our Game of Thrones react and recap. Again, if you guys tuning in for the first time, we have been watching Game of Thrones from season 1 to season 8 for the first time ever. Like, this has been a journey for me because I've heard great things, but I have never, watched it fully in its entirety. So it's been interesting to see the story play out, and it's been as good as advertised. And so if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video. You guys are doing me a huge service when you do that. I appreciate you a lot. But getting to our season 6 recap, there was the really two biggest things happened with Jon Snow at Winterfell in the north, and then you have King's Landing being taken over by the Faith Militant. Those are really the two biggest things, and we'll get into those. But really the first things I want to talk about are kind of like the subplots, the things that matter but just aren't the main focus of season 6, which is Arya becoming a no one, but she has a heart and she can't give up her life. Like, she has this list of people she needs to kill and she just can't give it up. And if they're not those people on that list, she doesn't want to kill them. So it's hard for her to just murder random people. So she becomes no one, and then they give her a task to murder somebody. She doesn't. They try to kill her, and she ends up killing that girl because Arya is the real one. She's becoming a savage. At the end of season 6, she murders Walder Frey, which I wasn't like yes, let's go, but I was like, okay, thank you for getting rid of this dude that killed my guy Rob Stark. Ramsay Bolton's, I'm gonna talk about him shortly. Arya did a great job in season 6. And just seeing her, her story, as brief as it wasn't like the full focal point, but as brief as it was very interesting. Then we get to Daenerys Targaryen in season 6 as well. She had been captured by the Khalasar, by the Dothraki, and they realize who she is in season 6. They take her to this temple where all the Dothraki women that or I guess Cal or the Khaleesi, the wives of former Cal, supposed to stay. And she's like, nah, fam, I ain't doing that. I'm not staying here. They're like, what do you mean? We're going to rape you then? She's like, nah, we're not doing that either. She burns down the entire house. Obviously, she's the unburnt. She can't get burned because she's the mother of dragons. So she lives. The Khalasar sees that they confess her as queen. She takes over the Khalasar, returns to Meereen, kills the slave masters coming to attack Meereen, and then sets out on a boat. So that's really Daenerys' thing. She's finally made it to Westeros. Or I guess she will, but all of her people are on the boat as well. Then you have Theon and the Greyjoys. They tried to get his sister Yara into the seat when their father died, or was killed by his brother. But nobody wants a queen on the Iron Islands. And the Iron Islands, I'm like, how many people do they have? Like, they've never been a big factor. They've been a factor, but they've always been defeated. Like, I'm like, why would you? I don't know. It's weird. But Theon and Yara sail to Meereen, and they get the help of Daenerys Stormborn, and they're now a part of that. So you have the Greyjoys, you have Daenerys, you have Tyrion, you have what's the dude's name? You have Tyrion, you have the eunuch, I forget his name, and then you have the Unsullied army, and then they leave Dario and Naharis in Meereen to take up for the Second Sons to do their thing there, right? So that was really, those two storylines, they play a big part, but they weren't the main storylines. Then you have Bran, who is doing a side mission. He's been in the north. He's in the tree, protected by the magic from the tree. He's been learning to be the Three-Eyed Raven from the Three-Eyed Raven. And he's going in the past. He's watching his dad kind of live his life, and finds out some important news that Jon Snow is actually the son of Lyanna. Now, I thought when I finished it, I was like, so is he the son of Robert Baratheon? Because I know he loved Lyanna, but people are like, no, he's not. So he is actually a Stark, he is Lyanna's son, so his aunt, or so Ned is actually his uncle, right? So it's pretty interesting. Everybody thought he was a bastard. He's Jon Snow. He's actually a Stark. He's Jon Stark, because he's Lyanna's son. Well, I guess if Lyanna, the last name comes from the father, so maybe not. Maybe he's a different person. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so Bran finds that out. Then he gets touched by the Night King. Night King takes over the tree, kill everybody. He escapes, him and Mira, and they make it back to the wall. And he's now through Red Raven. So it's pretty cool to see. Just he can see, he can just he's learning things. He's learning his warg powers are kind of getting OP. And so I'm wondering if they're gonna I don't know what they're gonna do with him. But if he can take people, he can be like Professor X or something. I don't know what's gonna happen. But Bran's been he's getting a little OP. For my opinion. And then you have the main two focal points of season 6, which is King's Landing and the Faith Militant that Cersei empowered taking over and her killing them. Because she got pissed after what happened at the end of last season when she has to walk through the streets and atone for her sins. She's pissed. So she's been trying to figure out a way to get rid of these Faith Militant. They tried to kill them, but then they were going to kill them, but then Tommen, it's kind of weird. Marjorie actually becomes part of the Faith Militant, she believes so strongly in the faith, and Tommen loves her so much that she convinces him to work with the Faith Militant, and then he starts doing things to undermine his mom, right? So he's like, hey, no trial by combat. So his mom's going on trial, and she has one of the strongest people in the mountain, and they're like, no trial by combat. So that kind of screws her over, right? So she's like, you know what? I'm going to end this. I'm going on trial at the Sept of Valon. Everybody's going to be there, all the Faith Militant. And she plants basically a bomb underneath the Sept and blows it all up, killing Marjorie, killing Loras Tyrell. So he kills the queen, kills Loras Tyrell, and the father Tyrell. So except for the grandmother, the Tyrell family is gone. And kills all the Faith Militant, kills the High Sparrow, and Tommen seeing the set blow up, literally it was kind of a wild scene to me. He literally it was cut off, and then the door just opened, and I'm like, he's not gonna kill himself, is he? And he just walks out and just he didn't even jump, he just fell like it was nothing. He was like, yep, I'm done, and kills himself. It was the most nonchalant suicide I've ever seen. But now Cersei's on the throne, which that's something interesting to see. How did she get picked? I understand that she was a former queen of Robert Baratheon, and then their kids were on the throne. But we'll see what happens there. And that brings me to the main part of season 6, which is Jon Snow and Sansa Stark taking back Winterfell. And so the whole season, Jon's trying to get his bannermen back to fight for him. He gets one in House Mormont with his little girl, who's very feisty, by the way. And she chooses to fight with him. We're 62 men. But he has, I don't know, maybe 2,500 men ready to fight for him. And the Boltons have about 5,000. And so they're like, you know what? F it. We're going to storm the castle. We're going to win. We're going to take Winterfell anyway, right? And then the Battle of the Bastards happened, season 6, episode 9, which I realized every single season, episode 9 is my favorite episode. It's not the end. It's just it's just a really good episode. That's when Robb Stark died. There's a lot of good episodes, episode 9. But anyways, so I was watching the battle with so much anxiety because I was going to be so pissed that Ramsay Bolton won. He was I thought about Sansa and her getting tortured. I thought about Jon Snow getting tortured just like Theon did. I even thought about Theon because I'm like, bro, I don't want Ramsay to win. I don't want Theon to go back to Ramsay after he broke him and turned him into Reek, and then now Theon slowly but surely getting his gumption back and being a Greyjoy again, being Theon, because he reminds me of, I don't know why, I'm saying this again, he reminds me of Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. That's what he reminds me of. I don't know why. Something about him just reminds me of Ron Weasley. And seeing Ron Weasley go through what he had to go through with Ramsay, I'm just like, man, that's tough, dude. So I thought about all three of those characters. I'm like, bro, I don't want to see this man torture these people and kill them. So I was watching this with so much anxiety, hoping that Jon would win. And then during the battle, he's fighting, and they form that circle around him with the spears. And I'm just like, gosh, dude, he's about to die. They're all about to die. And then he's like laying in the next to the horse, and he can't breathe. And I'm like, what is going on? But I knew somebody would show up in 11th hour, so out of my anxiety, I didn't Google. It was either going to be Google or do this. I fast forwarded it just a little bit to see if anybody shows up, and I saw the Knights of the Vale show up. So I was like, okay, I'm cool now. I rewinded it and watched the battle in its entirety. And then Knights of the Vale came and destroyed their entire army. They capture Ramsay, they kill Ramsay, and it was just the most satisfying thing, right? And it's kind of wild. Jon Snow goes from useless steward in the north, and I mean at the wall. I made a video about this after season 3, to king in the north at the end of season 6, and the glow up for him is kind of wild. So, anyways, that's my reaction to that's my recap and reaction to season 6. His journey's interesting. Season 7, we'll see how it goes. I've heard season 8 is not the greatest, except from all the Game of Thrones fans. So, not excited to watch season 8. But hey, we're gonna finish this thing. We're almost done. We got 20 more episodes left. So stay tuned in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to like this video. And thanks for tuning in. Coffee and comments.